Well, hello. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Thanks for following the bracket. This is the 2025 Best Reform Podcast bracket. And we are doing live streams at the end of each round with some of our friends jumping on, some of our sponsors. It has been a wild ride, man. We started with 128. We went for the first 4 days. We are now in day 5, and we have got it down to 64. I want to introduce some of the people on the live stream with me. We have Joshua Stowe from Dominion. Dominion Wealth Strategist. We have Terry Mann from Patriarch Cigars, two of our great sponsors. And then we have Andrew Rappaport, who not a sponsor this year, a sponsor in many other things, and all-around great guy. But he's here for a special reason, which we will get to in 1 second. But first, I want to throw it out to Josiah. Josiah, thanks for sponsoring the bracket this year. Tell all the people watching, everyone that's been following, what it is you do and how they can use your services as a Reformed brother in the Lord.
Oh, yeah. So we do a lot. Basically, everything with regards to financial planning. So we help with budgeting, debt management, savings accounts, life insurance, retirement planning, estate planning, business coaching, kind of the whole 9 yards. We do that all mostly via brokerage, which means we don't have to charge for the service. So I don't have anything to give away for the whole bracket because we give away everything all the time, no matter who comes in the door. With the exception of estate planning and business coaching, we do charge for those 2 services. But we're happy to help people kind of help take dominion over their finances, apply actual biblical principles, not just some random blanket advice from some mustached radio host. But we want to help them apply the financial services industry to their lives and actually use the tools and services that make the most sense for them, helping them navigate the overcomplicated financial world as it stands.
Yeah, love it. You know, we're commanded to steward wisely, to take dominion of our finances. You're helping brothers in the Lord and sisters in the Lord do that. Appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Also, too, probably one of the best backgrounds, I think, for a live stream. It looks like Terry Mann from Patriarch Cigars is sitting in a forklift and some type of heavy equipment driving around. I absolutely love the dedication. He said, I'll jump on the live stream. And what do you got going on there, man? Because it looks like you're working. I'm having a great day over here just sniffing these cigars from Patriarch. I can hardly wait to smoke one of these bad boys. Tell us a little bit about the company, brother, and where people can get the cigars.
Yeah. So Terry Mann with Patriarch Cigars. Yeah, I'm sitting in a harvester here out in the woods cutting trees. I'm a logger by trade, so jumped on here for a bit. But yeah, we're a cigar company started here in Oregon. Me and a couple of guys from my church. Like I said the other day, we just wanted to figure out how to cover our cigar budget, make our wives feel a little better about that. So we started a cigar company, and we're just trying to build something Christian and facilitate some good fellowship and make some great cigars.
Dude, if it doesn't get any more reformed and manly than that, just basically like, I make cigars, and by the way, I'm on a live stream where I'm logging and sitting in my heavy equipment. I love it. Also, guys, remember, we have lots of other great sponsors. Obviously, Squirrely Joe's, go pick up your bag. He's giving away free coffee for the next 11 days. I've already seen him DM a few people who said, hey, I want some coffee. But if you don't get the free coffee, make sure you go to squirrelyjoes.com and get some of that coffee. And then, of course, our grand prize by Rockwell Bibles, a beautiful ESV rebound in gray cowhide, Creeds and Confessions, valued at $500. This is going to the winner. This is an absolute gorgeous Bible, and I thank him for donating that. And then you're going to get one of these banners that he makes too. Am I holding it up the right way? He's got these little banners that he makes, and you're getting a Soli Deo Gloria banner as well to the winner. So a lot of prize packs on there, and we appreciate our sponsors. And then, of course, we got to go to Andrew Rappaport. Why is Andrew here? Everyone wants to know. Why is he here? Well, I got to tell you why he's here, because we've had some firsts in the podcast bracket over the years. Last year was the first time that someone who had been involved in 2 podcasts made it through to the second round, and that was Brian, and I call him Brian Suave. Okay, I know that's not his last name, but he's suave. You can love him or hate him, but he is a little suave, and he made it with the Kingdom's Hall and Haunted Cosmos, and that was a first. Well, this year we have a new record. We have a gentleman in Andrew Rappaport, who made it through with 3 podcasts that he currently holds. I mean, this guy, he loves to talk. Okay, guys, he is through with Apologetics Live. He's through with Rap Report, which is being voted on right now. So if you love you some Andrew Rappaport, Go vote for him. Day 5 is up right now. You can see by the graphic on there. I've kind of highlighted it. And then the third one is Theology Throwdown, which will be voted on tomorrow. Which is on, if you're looking at this right now, it's on the bottom right-hand side. So Andrew, record-setting, and I have to say, he's got a couple of his podcasts on his Christian Community Network through as well, too. So it's like, is this, should we just rename this the Andrew Rappaport bracket? What's going on, man?
Yeah, let's just do the Christian podcast community. No, we do have a number of the Christian podcast communities that are here. We're guaranteed actually to get into the second round because we had Truth Espresso versus Doctrines Matter. So Doctrines Matter made it there. And we had Truth Love Parent, who I thought would actually make it to the second round being the bigger one, but they got squeezed out by Street Talk Theology. And so, yeah, we were guaranteed to at least get those two, or one of those two. But yeah, we podcast community has Apologetics Live, Didache, which is with Justin Peters being voted right now. We have a Rap Report, which I need everybody's vote. I'm going up against Keith Foskey, and I thought I had an extra day to work on some fun videos for that one. And I actually had someone.
You're cutting out there.
Friend of mine
Your
from
audio's
Australia was
cutting
going to
out,
do some.
so we may have to have you repeat that. You said you're going up against Keith, and what?
So we're going up against Keith, and I actually have a friend of mine in Australia who is he's a voice talent, and he was going to do some voice work to get to help me with the win, but I don't know if we can get that done now. So I definitely need, for the Rap Report, need your vote. Squirrel Chatter made it through. You mentioned Theology Throwdown, Doctrines Matter.
Yeah.
Truth Be Known, which is Nathaniel Jolly, if you guys know him. Excellent podcast. And then Street Talk Theology, which is a guy, he's a pastor who was previously imprisoned for 20 years.
Wow.
Got saved in prison.
So here's something I want to point out too. Some people say, oh, well, you have guys that, have multiple podcasts and that helps their odds. And I don't know if that's fair. And I say, well, look, God isn't fair. God's just. All right. And it's my bracket. And if you, in the enrollment period of 1 week, when I put out suggest podcasts, all these podcasts were suggested. So you have listeners from all 3 of your podcasts, Andrew, that are obviously liking what you're doing because they're saying, hey, put him in the podcast. Same thing with Haunted Cosmos. And let's not forget, too, from the network aspect, I've got multiple podcasts in from the Fight Laugh Feast Network. We've got multiple podcasts from your network, Andrew, from the Bar Network, from the guys out in Ogden. So we have some overlapping network podcasts, but just so everyone knows, you're the only network and only podcast that brought 3 through. And I think that's a testament to not only the quantity, but also the quality of podcasts that you do. So I just wanted to have you on and give you your shout outs because that is hard to do, my friend. We're talking 75,000 impressions. We're talking over 16,000 votes already just in round 1. In round 1 this year, we surpassed the numbers of the almost the entire bracket of last year. So not only has the popularity grown, but the competition has grown. So, look accept my platitudes because I don't give them often. I was impressed that you got 3 through to the second round. So kudos to you, man. But if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to quickly read off the 64 just to give everyone a shout out because it is hard just to get through the second round. So we're going to do this very quickly, and then I want to have you guys comment on it. So here's our 64. Haunted Cosmos, Christ is the Cure, Apologetics Live, Theology Applied, 80 Robles, Foolproof Theology, Backwoods Belief, Just Thinking, Cultish, God, Law, and Liberty, Theology Pugcast, For the Gospel, Reformed Forum, Ezra Institute, Reformation Red Pill, Cross Politic, Folklore Politic, Bright Hearth, Contramundum, Didache, Sword and Trowel, Eschatology Matters, Rec to Reformed, which he's new to the entry, and he made it through to the second round. He's doing well. The Plodcast, up against Doug Wilson, though, on that one. Watch out. Apologia Podcast, Conversations That Matter, Sheologians, Real Christianity, Knox Unplugged, Provoked Podcast, which I'm sitting here on the live stream, and I just saw Provoked Podcast just put out a video taunting Chocolate Knox, so that's going to be a fun one to watch. Rap Report and Your Calvinist with Keith Foskey on the left, and then on the right, the King's Hall, 3 guys theologizing. Sure, let's go with that. The Squirrel Chatter Podcast, the Westminster Standard, Iron Sharpens Iron, Having Two Legs, In the Bullpen, The Proverbial Life, Redeemed Zoomer, Center for Baptist Leadership, which is William Wolf, Strange Theology, The Lone Bulwark, Polity Matters, the Sword and Staff podcast, a Word Fitly Spoken podcast, Old Paths podcast, Refining Rhetoric, Theology Throwdown. There's Andrew again. The Chancellor podcast, Reforming Nerddom. That's a fun one, a new entry that made it through to the second round. Doctrines Matter podcast, Truth Be Known podcast, Reformed Fire podcast, Cooper Stuff podcast, Presbyterian and Reformed Churchman podcast, holds the title for the longest title in the bracket. Street Talk Theology, White Horse Inn, Straight Truth podcast, When We Understand the Text, the Bible Bash podcast, Presbycast, and of course, Matthew Everhart. So there's our 64. What are you thinking, guys? Who do we think is going to the next round? Who's our dark horse? I'll open it up.
Oh, yeah.
I think Keith Foster is going to the next round, unfortunately.
You're only
I'll
saying
say-
that because he currently has 96% of the vote.
No, look, if you're a Christian, you're going to vote for superior podcasting, vote Rap Report. That's all I'm saying.
Superior theology. Yeah, that's what I
I like that. You know what's great about that is at night, currently at 94% in that bracket on Rap Report. If we see an overnight number switch, I don't know, you go to 80% overnight, we might have issues.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I think the winner of the Vindicated Productions has got to go to Corey. If anyone hasn't seen Corey's in his loss, he was up against his own network in Eschatology Matters, but Civically Minded had probably one of the best videos that I've seen so far, because he did a whole bunch of, but his losing video was probably the best. So definitely check out.
Oh, go ahead.
Check out Corey Wing, man. That was great. So I saw it on Dead Man Walking. It's on the Twitter feed there.
Yeah, so he went out first round, but him alone, his videos were so entertaining. I messaged him. I said, Corey, could you keep these videos going? Or, because the Real Men of Doctrine, which is a play on the Real Men of Genius from the 90s Budweiser commercials, where he says, what's your favorite verse? John 3:16. No, his favorite verse is Jacob I loved and Esau I hated. And he does it in that falsetto. It's hilarious. And then, of course, he has a full makeup department for the last video. He got beat up pretty bad by Eschatology. So, and that for you guys watching too, that's what we encourage. Not only the podcasts in the bracket making those videos, but if you are posting a GIF or a video and you're not even in the bracket, there's prizes for you too. There's video editing, there's coffee available, there's possibly cigars out there, there's what was the other one that we had that's giving away some stuff? Eschatology Matters is looking at that, giving away some stuff. So so get involved even if you're not in the bracket in the podcast. If you're a supporter of it and you're reposting and making videos and content, we love that. It just helps give everyone more in the bracket exposure. I've already retweeted a few times too. Hey, I never heard of this podcast. Now I'm listening to them. And I love that because I think we should give more exposure to some of these up and coming podcasts, kind of taking off of what Andrew said too last year. And maybe next year will be different to where we have some different levels of podcasts. Cause I know me and you talked about that, Andrew, offline, and I think we might want to do that. But also too, and I'll let you guys talk here, but I just wanted to let people know, people go, how do you seed these? The top 10 from the previous podcast gets seeding 1 through 10. And then the other remaining ones are randomly generated. So when you have guys like Corey going up against Eschatology, I go, that's the providence of the Lord, man. The cast of the die is in, you can cast a die, but the results are in the Lord's hands. So I randomly generate those and go from there. The top 10 do get seating. That's why you see Haunted Cosmos and King's Hall at the top on either side of the bracket, because they do get seating since they competed last year and made it to the final 10. But sorry, I'm talking a little too much on my own live stream here. We got a few minutes left, guys. Josiah, Terry, you guys got any thoughts on the 64? What you want to see in the 32?
Oh, man. There's a lot of really solid podcasts on here, and I don't suspect there's going to be too many upsets. There's some very clear winners in some of these matchups, so it'll be fun to see. But I'm pretty sure Keith Fossey is going to make it all the way to the final round. That's almost a given with his momentum.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe you come out ahead, Andrew. But I think Keith Fossey is going to make it to the.
I'm with you on that. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
sweep the left side.
against the
Well,
top guys every
Here's what I'm looking at, though, you guys. In this seeding, Keith Foskey is going to eventually have to go up against Haunted Cosmos. He's going to
True.
have to go up against Cross Politic, which has a pretty good following. He's going to have to go up against Contramundum, which has a pretty good following. Eschatology Matters can rally. They're pretty good. Conversations That Matter with John Harris. Apologia Podcast is also in that. So it's like we're saying Keith Foskey to the final. He's got to overcome guys like Haunted Cosmos, Apologia.
yeah, but right now Cross Politics is behind.
It's true.
Okay.
That surprised me. And I thought I saw Apologias today. Were they behind?
Apology is up against Conversations That Matter, which I think that's a bigger challenge than people think.
Yeah.
They're behind right now. I mean, Keith is slaughtering 93%, but if you look at Haunted Cosmos, they're at only 73%. And so maybe there might be some more fight that Keith is going to have against them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
predicting all the way. Even though I hope you get him.
Yeah, it's tough to tell because it really depends on who you're going up against too. You can say, "Oh, you got 80% of the vote or 90% of the vote." You're in a thing too, Andrew, where you're going to have probably less overall votes because it's harder to maintain 3 brackets. I mean, to get one person to vote for your podcast is hard. To get a person to vote 2 times for 2 of your podcasts is almost impossible. To get 3 people or one person to vote 3 times on 3 different podcasts, there's probably going to be fall off somewhere. And it's not really a reflection of your popularity or quality. It's just people are busy. It's hard to do. They have to be very focused on going, I'm going to go all the way down the line and vote for everyone. You know what I mean? Or maybe the listener of Apologetics Live doesn't listen to Theology Throwdown and vice versa. So that's tough too, to where you have your Calvinist going up against Rap Report, which I don't know your internal numbers, but I don't know which one is the most popular of your podcast listener wise, but not necessarily is listenership a factor. Sometimes it's if your listeners that are on X for that podcast too, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see here. Yeah. Your Calvinist on that side is a favorite. So going over to the right side, and then we'll finish this up, guys. You on the right side of the bracket, which if you want here, let me bring it back up just so if anyone's watching. And guys, for those of you watching or listening, this same bracket that we're looking at is posted on every bracket, and I post it at the end every day, so you can download it, look at it, bring it up. So you got the King's Hall, which is going to be a big one. Iron Sharpens Iron went to the 3rd round last year. They might be a dark horse in that one. With Chris Arnzen. Redeem Zoomer is a sleeper. He has not been posting about this. He's got a huge following on YouTube, not quite as big on X, but if he gets involved in posting and videos, he could be there. But he's up against William Wolf, who has a large following on X, so that could put him through. Obviously Andrew Isker, I'm sorry, Lone Bulwark. Who is that? That's William.
The other Wolf.
Stephen Wolf. So who knows? He's got a pretty big following. He could make it through. You've got, I think Sorden Troll on this side or no?
Sorden Troll's on the other.
Rhetoric did really well. Sorry, Andrew. I think that, or are you up against him? I don't know. I can't tell from the way I'm looking at this. But essentially, you've got some big ones on this side too. Matthew Everhard's over here. Presbycast's over here. That's going to be a battle tomorrow between Presbycast and Matthew Everhard. He was supporting them earlier, and now he's up against them. Who do you guys looking at for the favorites on the right side of the bracket there?
Yeah, I'd say possibly the Lone Bulwark, just because Stephen Wolf's a really hot topic right now.
Yeah.
So some people might be voting along political lines, so to speak, and making sure that he goes through. Yeah.
He's got a lot of haters.
I have to think with all of the great kerfluffle that's gone on, there's a lot of anons coming out of the woodwork, and it could be interesting when we get down to the finals.
Yeah, I'm probably looking at your top 3 on this side that should make it is the King's Hall, probably Lone Bulwark, and Matthew Everhard. I think those are the 3 powerhouses on that right side
Yeah.
Um,
And if Cross Politic wins the other side, it'll be properly Ogden versus Moscow.
that would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool. I mean, if I was Cross Politic, and they've been retweeting the stuff, they haven't done any content, but I would absolutely be saying, let's see him in the showdown in the finals.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See who wins the popular vote.
Yeah, so as you can see here, guys, we have day 5 and day 6. We are currently in day 5. Just posted the purple column on the left. Tomorrow, we will be voting purple column on the right. That'll take us to essentially day 6 ending on day 7, which is Sunday morning. Early. We take the Lord's Day off. I don't do any bracket stuff on Sunday, so there'll be a reset to where we will have the Lord's Day off for day 6 going into day 7, which will take us down to our final 32. And then final 32 voting will start on Monday back at 9 a.m. And what happens is we start the bracket at 9 a.m. because over the days, as you know, it takes me time to update and post. We get to about noon by the end of the first and second round. So we'll reset, start at 9 a.m. on Monday, and that'll start us on our 32, which we will be doing 8 a day on those two. So round 32 is only going to take 2 days. Then it's going to go down to 1 day for the Sweet 16, 1 day for the Elite 8, 1 day for the Final 4, 1 day for the Final 2, which should end us on essentially Saturday, and we can announce the winner 1 week and 1 day from today, which is crazy because people go, that's weird that it takes, 11, 12 days to go through this. But I mean, I'm maxing out at 16 matchups, 32 podcasts right now, and that even seems to be a lot. I didn't want to overwhelm voters with, hey, you got to go vote on 40 things. They're voting on 16 a day right now, which seems to be working out. And it takes us, like I said, just about 11, 12 days to get through it. But that's where we're at right now. So right now, guys, if you're watching, you can go vote. Day 5 is up. You've got 16 matchups. Whoever you vote for here, whoever wins these 16 matchups, they're going to be in our final 32. And then we obviously move to Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, right on down the line. Guys, you have anything for us, Joshua Stowe from Dominion Strategist or Terry Mann from Patriarch Cigars before we get out of here?
Yes,
Hey,
Josiah.
just keep the reform content coming. I mean, tag us, tag the sponsors in your videos so we can see them. And we're, we've got some good prize packs for not necessarily the winner. So, yeah, just keep it coming, and it's been fun.
Yeah. And then no matter who wins, you can win with your finances if you want to set a meeting with me. Happy to help you
like
regardless.
Everyone's a winner when they
everyone's
call
a winner, right? Everyone gets a free financial consultation, right? Whether you're a podcaster or just a voter. Happy to help.
And here's the thing: I know for a fact, Josiah, you go see him, say, "Hey, I've got some funds that I want to steward," and he's going to go, "Okay, but first take a couple bucks of that and go buy some quality cigars over at Patriot Cigars." So so as a financial strategist, you're not even against us spending a couple bucks over there at Patriarch, right?
No, not at all. In fact, we're called the Fight, Laugh, and Feast.
You can still get a discount today. We've got a promo code for Valentine's Day on the website. So, Josiah would agree. You got to save some money if you want to buy cigars. Buy them today.
Yes.
Well, what's the promo code? Throw it out there.
I can't remember. It's on the website though, and our social media.
Oh, it's on the website.
My business partner posted it. I think it's something with Valentine's Day, obviously, but yeah, it's on there.
And Andrew,
That's great.
That's awesome. So promo code for Patriarch Cigars. He's gonna he save some money there. Also, he's watching the bracket too to see who puts out some content. Same thing with Josiah at Dominion. And then Andrew, before we go, what's your prediction out of your 3 podcasts? Which one do you think is going to make it through to the 32? Any of them? All of them? Some of them?
Yeah, let me first do a surprise. So for all the people who lost in the first round, anyone who lost in the first round, if Greg, you put out a message to them, any of the people that lost in the first round will get a free copy of my book, What Do We Believe? I them free. They'll get a copy of that for losing because everyone else is trying to go for the winners. Let the losers get something. So we could do that. As far as a reform post, for a reform post, hey, come on. What's more reform than saying if you want superior podcasting, vote Rappaport? I mean, I predict my going to go down in flames. Unfortunately, maybe Theology Throwdown may be the only one to make it to the third round, but yeah,
All right.
that'll be my prediction. But
Well, there you heard it.
please.
Andrew, I'll work with you offline for that generous offer. Where is my copy of that? It's not within arm's reach, but I've got a hardcover signed personal copy of What We Believe. And it's awesome. So the fact that you'd be willing to give out one of those free books, I'll get with you, Andrew, and we'll figure out how we want to do that. But awesome. I love that you guys have been all three of you so generous with just, not only supporting these other podcasts, but we want to expose your business to them as well too, because what you guys do is very important. It's building the kingdom of God. We're all brothers in this. And also, guys, Squirrely Joe's, go get your coffee. All right. He's giving out some free coffee too. So guys, we're going to get off of here. We've held you for about 26 minutes. Day 5 is up right now. Go vote. Tomorrow, day 6. It'll get us down to our 32, and then the real fun begins as it gets extremely competitive. Josiah, Andrew, Terry, thanks for jumping on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. See you later. Thanks.
All right, guys, go vote. Appreciate your support.